Okay, YouTube, I'm going to show you how I put my belt on my 2004 Victory Kingpin. Um, this is my second belt that broke. I had put a belt on last year actually, and it broke again. But this time it broke because I had lowered the bike and forgot to grind down the inner portion of the drive belt. And what it was doing, it was rubbing. So it wound up breaking my brand new belt, set me back another $250. Now this time I'm going to show you. I had already put the belt on. I just did it, and it only took about. Well, the first time it's going to take you about a half an hour, but you don't have to take your axle off or your wheel. You do not. I repeat, you do not. There's going to be people on here that's going to call me an idiot and say, "Oh, you do." I'm telling you, you don't. I did it twice. It's on my bike now, and I'm going to show you again how to do it. I would have shown you when I put it together, but it's kind of hard for me to work with both hands and film at the same time. But I'm going to show you exactly what I did. There's no difference. Yes, my bags are customized, but it's still no different when you take the bag off. And I'm going to show you really quick. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did, and you shouldn't have any problems. Okay, so I just took my bag off, and I'm going to take you step by step. One, just make sure your back wheel is off the ground. Okay, so just jack up. If you have a jack or something, just jack it up. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take an 1 16" socket set and go right onto to the other side of the axle. Loosen up your axle bolt from the other side. I didn't take my bag off the other side. Loosen up your axle bolt. Do not take it off. Then you're going to go and get an Allen wrench, and you're going to go to your belt tensioners. As you can see, there's one here and there's one on the other side. Turn those belt tensioners to where it's loose. Okay, now everything is loose. Make sure you do this one and the other side again. Before you do that, right here, see this? Make sure you take a picture or remember exactly which line you were on, which mark you were on. Okay, either way, it's got to be the same on both sides. That way, it'll make sure everything's aligned perfectly. So, loosen up your axle nut. Loosen this up. Loosen the other side up. It'll push forward. Okay. The next thing that you're going to have to do, and it's only a few things that you're going to have to do, only a few bolts you got to take off. It's not long. Next thing that I did was my chain guard. Take your bolt off right here. It's one. There's two right behind my frame here, which is no different than yours. Even if you don't have a frame, but anyway, your chain guard. There's two bolts right there inside. Take those off. Okay, it comes right on out. Now, next thing you're gonna do. This is a little tricky. It's easy, but it's a little tricky. You got this 3 bolts here. One on your belt cover. Two, and there's one right underneath, directly underneath, in between your pipe. Now you can get a small Allen wrench and you can get that out underneath. Just it comes right out. Okay, so 1, 2, stick your Allen wrench straight in like this and turn it out. 3, underneath, take this out. Now this is the tricky part. You don't have to loosen any of this. Okay, just let that just take the bolts out. Don't take this out yet. You don't need to loosen your exhaust. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do next. On your exhaust, this is just a Victory Performance exhaust. It's no different. The only thing I did was I extended it for my bags. It's the same thing. So, down here, holding your exhaust together is a bracket at the very bottom. Straight down under these. There's 2 bolts. Take those bolts out. Okay? Take them out. Very easy. I think it's like a 10, maybe a little bit bigger than 10 millimeter, but you'll see them straight underneath here. There's 2 bolts right down there at the bottom. take them out, and that'll enable you to be able to move. You're just going to have to pull this apart just a little bit, and that's important because that's where how you're gonna put your belt in. Okay. Now, the only other thing that you have to do, take off wise, is pop your cover off. Try it here. There we go. Whoops. Pop your cover off. Mine has LED lights on it, so 1 second. I'm gonna unplug this wire. Okay. So now you took your cover off. Now, there's you want to take this off, this whole thing off, and again, that's only held on by 3 bolts. 3 bolts. 1, 2, okay, and 3. That's it. Remove that. Move those 3 bolts. Pull it out. Off. So now, again, your wheel is loose. It's taking you step by step. Wheel is loose. Adjustments are loose. You took off your cover here. It will come out. You can slide it out. You may have to work it to get it out, but it will come out. Make sure you take this off before you get your cover off. Before you take this off. Okay? So take this off, and then you can slide that right on out. These 3 bolts are out. Now, what you do with this to get this out, because it's a very tight fit, it's on an angle. Okay? You're going to turn it. See this part here where it's facing this kind of like half circle? This is going to face down. So you're going to turn it till that's facing down. Once that's facing down, you're going to hold it. Okay? Don't pull it out. Turn it while it's pushed in. Turn it while it's still like together, but turn it to where this again is facing down. Now you pull it, and on an angle. You got to pull it out. For the top is going to come towards you first. The bottom is going to stay in. So you're going to pull it out on an angle. It's the only way it's going to come out without taking this off. All right. Now you took this off. So the whole area is all exposed. Now you have your belt. Very simple. And this is where people say, no, it can't be done. I'm telling you, yes, it can be done. And I will bet money any day of the week. And I could get rich. Because I'm telling you it does. So, next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your belt. And you're going to take half of your belt, is just hang it over in the back there. Just leave it there. The other portion, just the bottom part of your belt, is going to go in between here. Okay? And the only way it's going to fit down in between here, remember, I told you to take those 2 bolts out down the bottom. You're going to need either a long screwdriver or something so you can just pull it back a little bit. You don't have to pull it back much. I took a long screwdriver and I pulled this right here, this. Wedge it in, pulled it back just like not even a 1/4 of an inch, enough to wedge that part of the belt in, just the bottom portion of the belt. Okay, once that bottom portion's in, okay, then the other portion, as you can see, because it's nothing in between, once the bottom portion is down, the other part is just going to be, we'll be able to go right around here. Okay, but that's going to be the last thing that I do. Push this portion down. As you're wedging this piece out just a little. Again, pushing the belt down. Now that the belt is down, this is out of the way. You can feed this right around here. Okay? You feed it in. This will be gone. So you just feed it and start wedging it and push it around. It'll go around. Okay? So now your belt is basically on the bottom. And coming around, and now all you got to do is work on getting it on this wheel. Very simple. The wheel is loose, so it's forward a little bit. Now you just put it on here, and then you just start turning your wheel, and it'll pop right on. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Okay, so again, wedge this piece out. And as you're wedging it out, you can have somebody wedge it for you. I did it myself. Wedge it, and as this is just open up about that much, stick the bottom half of the belt, portion of the belt in. Now once that's in there again, okay, stick it down here. Half your belt is now down at the bottom. Very simple. And then just run it around here because this cover's off. And then just put it on. Again, it's that simple. You do not have to take, I'll repeat, you do not have to take your axle off and then put it right on there. If you listen to what I said, it will work. Okay? Now, once you put the stuff, once you put your bike back together, what I would do before I put all this back together is, all this is still off. I would now tighten your each side up with your belt tensioner. Make sure they're lined up to about the lines that they were on before. Okay, and it's a new belt, so you might be a little bit different. But what I would do is, before I put all this back on, my wheel's still in the air. Put these back. Check on this side. Tighten it on the other side. Okay. Once you think it's tight, check your tension on your wheel. See if it's a little tight, not too tight, and tighten it down. And again, they should be about where they were before. The biggest thing that I would do would be to turn your wheel on, turn your bike on, and then check the alignment. So just put it in gear and watch the wheel spin. You'll know if it's aligned, if it spins and it stays exactly where it's at, right in the center where it's at. If it starts tracking over to the left or tracking over to the right, then you're going to have to make adjustments on your alignment. Okay? But once these are adjusted, make sure before you turn the bike on, you adjust these, then crank down tight at 65 pounds of torque. After you get everything on, then I would, excuse me, after you tighten it and it's all aligned, then you put this back. Remember, when you put this back, this can't go in like this. It's not going to fit. It's impossible. Turn this down, facing down. Hold it in the air. It's facing down. Put it on an angle with the top towards you first. Okay, and the bottom goes in first. So it's down, bottom's in. It'll slide right in. Then you spin it. Spin it back this way. Spin it to where this is right here. Pop in your 3 bolts. Pop this bolt back. Put your belt cover back on. Your chain guard. Pop this bolt in. These 2 bolts in. Put this back on. 1, 2, 3. And then these 2 bolts back there. That is it. So again, I'm sitting here. I'm telling you it can be done. I did a video before and people were, telling me how impossible it is. I've done it twice. It works. I just did it. Didn't take the wheel off. And again, the only reason why I'm showing you right now, without it being jacked up, and is because it's just me working by myself, and I need both hands in order to work on the bike. Any questions, please let me know. Thanks.